So here I am with Charlie, and I'm sanding back the marble table, which is a laborious task, and I don't even know why I bother, but it's going to look lovely when it's finished. And the weather, you can't quite see it, oh, it's behind me. Anyway, the weather, which was just spectacular an hour ago, is on the turn. And definitely lots of clouds over in that direction. So I've got to quickly sand as much as I can, get as much done today before it starts raining. So that's all good. Anyway, I've also quickly cleaned my fish pond filters and repotted a water lily. So it's all happening and far out. In a far out way. So I'm going to sit down now so I can concentrate. So why I'm making this video is it's quicker than trying to write it all down. I'm just not in the mood for writing down reams today, which is unusual because I like writing my little stories to you on Facebook World and YouTube World, if this video makes it up there. So anyway, what was I going to say to you? Let me concentrate. Yes, so yesterday, I had a lovely day yesterday, and even though it was a bitterly cold, witchy wind, kind that bites brass door knockers off the wall, off the doors, but they're still there, they're still hanging there. The old brass monkeys. So what happened was, even though it was a bitterly cold, witchy Mistral, like the French Mistral wind, we get them coming from the west in August, usually around the Eka holiday time. And this is the week that the Eka would have been on, but it's been cancelled due to COVID. But the winds don't know that. The winds keep coming regardless, as they do. So it was bitingly cold, but I thought, fuck it. I'm going to take Beauregard and Charlie for our regular walk around the block. So we went for a little walk around the block, and I didn't go too far because I was a bit tired yesterday. I've been quite unwell for the last 6 weeks. And so my energy, ebbs and flows with the tides, as it has always done, even when I was a young girl and a child. So I got up to Margot's house, where Margot and Dave and the children live, and the gates were open, but I couldn't see any sign of anybody being around, and I just assumed that they were at work and that the children were at, kindy or preschool or wherever they go at their age. But Beauregard was so funny. He stopped outside their gate and he just does this thing where he squares his shoulders. It's almost a mannerism like my mother used to have, and I think I do it too now as I've got older, this kind of what's going on here kind of thing. It's very German. I don't know where the dog got the idea to do that from, so maybe it's not German, maybe it's just international body language for I'm here and curiosity and, in your faceness. But anyway, he stood with his squared little shoulders. Bear in mind, he's a Chinese dog, he's part Shih Tzu. And he just stared into the house like this. And they have very dark tinted windows in the front of their magnificent home, so you can't really see in. And I wasn't going to go up to the door because they have a puppy now, and Bobo's not really puppy friendly. It's not really dog friendly at all. And I just, as I said, I just assumed that the little children were at school and that Margot was at work, and Dave was at work. Because Dave often works from home, but anyway, I wouldn't disturb him anyway. So I thought, okay, Bobo's very interested in all this. I said, come on, Bobo, let's keep going, everybody's at work, and, we haven't seen them for weeks, and that's okay, and, let's go. And he went to walk away with me, and then he walked back, and he just started sniffing all the grass where little Rosie, little Labrador puppy, probably pees every morning. So I thought, okay, he's sniffing the grass and he's enjoys smelling the other puppy, even though he's not that friendly to her. Look at this. So anyway, we carried on with our walk, and I came home and I just felt a little bit sad because it's a bit isolating now with COVID and everything. But I thought, oh well, you know, I'd been out to do the groceries in the morning and I thought, oh well, you know, I've got everything I need. Life is good even though it's windy, and I've got plenty to do around the house, so I'm not really lonely, you know. So here's the strange thing. I was still pottering around, walking around the garden, hadn't been home for very long. Margot walks up with her little puppy Rosie. And I was so surprised. I said to her, oh, I've just been past your house. She said, have you? And I went, yes. I said, I just assumed you were all at work. And she goes, no, it's my day off. She said, but the children have been so sick lately, I haven't brought them to visit you because we're scared we'll make you sick. I have to roll my eyes because it's like I'm sick anyway at the drop of a hat, and it's like, apart from the COVID scare, which is I suppose authentic, it's hard to know really, I'm not really worried about catching little colds and weird things from children. I'd much rather see the children, but then of course there's a possibility that I could make them sick if we had COVID. So I get why everyone's so fucking paranoid and fearful. I don't like it, but I get it. So I said, okay, all right, that's fine. I said, funnily enough, I said, I put all these lollipops and Chupa Chops in my bag. I said, I was hoping if I ran into you that I would give you the lollipops. I said, and here you are. I said, you came to me. She's like, I'll save them for when we come to visit you. And I thought to myself, no, that could take weeks. And why? I said, why wait for something weeks in the future? I said, live in the now. And I said, take the lollipops for the children. She said, oh, but wouldn't you rather give them to them in person? I said, well, I might not see them. And I said, and if this COVID thing got worse, or if I got hit by a bus, I might never see them. So let's not live in future thinking. Let's just live in the now. You're here, take the lollipops for the children. And I said, I picked up a couple of little books that they're giving away for free when you buy, you know, with your groceries, which I haven't been collecting because I thought, well, what's the point? But then I thought about her little ones. So I thought, I've got a couple of books I collected for you to give to the children. She goes, no, you give those to the children. So I thought, all right, I've kept those back. I mean, it's just meaningless twaddle, but it's just little things that kids enjoy. So anyway, so we're standing there having a lovely chat, and I was really happy about that she came and chatted to me with the little puppy, and Bobby did his incubus growling through the fence, and Rosie just rolled over on her back and had a bit of a laugh at him, which she does. She's a great sense of humour, that little Labrador puppy. She's not the least bit bothered by his weird, cantankerous old man doggy ways. So anyway, then the other lovely thing that happened was young Harrison, who I think's about, I'm not sure how old he is, I think he's about 13, 14, who I befriended a few weeks back, probably about a couple of months back. Lovely young lad. He comes up from coming home from school in a school uniform, and he's a very serious little boy. I actually wonder, I mean, it doesn't matter, you know, really if he's diagnosed with anything, but I actually wonder if he's a bit Aspergery, but he's very bright. But he's just sort of, he's very, I can't describe it. Anyway, lovely little boy. So he comes up the hill and he sees me talking to Margot. So I waved out to him because I always give him a little wave, and sometimes he stops and has a chat, and sometimes he doesn't, and that's okay. You know, he's a kid. Who wants to hang around a festy old lady anyway? So here's the funny thing though, that was cute, that he came up and he joined in our little conversation, and he's all very serious, and he had a football under his arm. A proper oval shaped football, like a rugby ball, what we call rugby in New Zealand. Anyway, so I looked at him and I said, oh, you've got your ball back, because last time we spoke, last week or so, it was last week, he told me the story that he was very upset because he had a very expensive AFL ball. And he said, it's a very expensive ball and it's up on the roof of my school. And I've spoken, he sounded like a little old man, it was so cute, he was so dignified and serious. He said, and I've spoken to the groundsman about it and I would really like my ball back. And he said, but the groundsman says he can't really be bothered, and there's a lot of balls up on that roof, Tanya. He said there's even a pizza box and a hat, and they're all up on the roof, and I want my ball back. And my father says that I have to get my ball back off the roof, and if I don't get it back off the roof, I have to wait till Christmas to get another one. And I said to him, first of all, how did it get up on the roof? And he said, well, it was an accident. He said, a friend of mine kicked it up there. He said, and I'm so annoyed. He said, I know it wasn't on purpose and it was an accident, but I've lost my ball and I can't get it down. I went, well, perhaps with these strong winds we're getting, it'll blow the ball down off the roof. I said, stranger things have been known to happen. He said, yes, I've thought that too. He says, I go every day and hope that it's come back down off the roof. So I'm thinking to myself, this groundskeeper's a bit of a bastard. Like, what's the big deal? All he has to do is get a ladder, climb up on the flaming roof and get all the balls down for all the kids and like just do something nice. It's like, kids are going to kick balls up on roofs accidentally on purpose. That's what they do. What's the point in punishing them endlessly, stupidly? Well, there's all this stuff on the roof rotting and not being used. Waste of money, waste of time. And I just thought, what is wrong with the people? So I flew into one of my very well contained kind of tiny little rages, and I said to Harrison, I said, so your dad's going to make you wait till Christmas to get you another ball. I said, how much is the ball? Because I thought to myself, oh, if it's only about $20 or something, I'll buy him a fucking ball, you know, like, for Christ's sake, what's all this drama, you know? But he said to me, oh, they're expensive, Tony, they're about $50 or $60. And I thought, oh, I don't know him well enough to be buying him such an expensive ball. That would look a bit weird, you know? And I thought to myself, at the end of the day, not my monkey, not my circus. It's not really my problem. But I was upset for him not being able to get his ball back. So I told him a little story, which was a hint for his father, about this making him wait till Christmas thing. And I said, you know, I said, it's not fair to punish you about the ball if you weren't the one that lost it. And I said, and the groundskeeper, you know, really is a bit lazy. Like, it's not that hard for a man to get up on a ladder and kick all the balls off the roof. It's like, freaking hell, if I was a groundskeeper, I would do that. Says she, who's too lazy to get up and clean the guttering. I have to do that soon too. I've been delaying it. But it's not really a drama, you know. I'm not keen on getting right up top of my roof because of my age and the fact that I have dizzy spells and I fall over. But, you know, a groundskeeper, I mean, come on. Unless he's like retirement age, I'm sure he's quite capable of getting up there. So anyway, funny story. So I tell this little boy, he's a sweetheart. He's the sweetest little... He's just going to, I pray and hope he doesn't get changed with hormones as he gets older because he's just got the sweetest nature. So I said to him, I've got a story to tell you. I said, one of my weird stories. He says, okay. I said, when I was your age, when I was 14, I said, I was bought a very, very expensive mask and snorkel and set of flippers because I lived on a beach to go snorkeling with. He said, oh, really? Wow, I'd love to go snorkeling. And I said, yes. I said, I was looking forward to going snorkeling with them too. I said, but my mother was a very mean mother. She used to give away my things. I would get like lovely gifts from people and she would just either chuck them out or just randomly give them away, and it was actually quite spiteful and nasty. And I think in her head she was trying to teach me some kind of life lessons, but all I learnt from it was that she was a really mean, horrible person. And I said, if I gave away all her crystal and china and precious things, she would have gone insane and beaten me within an inch of my life. But she thought it was perfectly okay to do that to me. I said, my family had absolutely no respect for me, which is true. Like, my sister bought me my first album, Fleetwood Mac Rumours. I had it for a week for my 13th birthday, and then she stole it back from me. Like, this is the kind of behaviour I had to deal with growing up. It was really quite revolting and confusing too. It's like they really chipped away at my self-worth and my feelings of deserving, or feelings of value. You know, it was just insidious. So I said to this little boy, I said, what happened with the mask and snorkel, I said, was I had it only for a few days, and some friends of my mother being German, I said, this German lady came with her son named Kurt. I still remember Kurt because he was a little bastard. And so Harrison's trying not to laugh. And I says, so my mother hands him my mask and snorkel and flippers and says, go down the beach, Kurt, have fun. I went, but wait a minute, they're mine. She goes, oh, well, he can play with them, can't he? And me being me, you know, I've always been so altruistic and so universalist, and I'm thinking, well, you know, like, who cares? Yes, he can play with them, not a drama. So I said, all right, off you go. So he goes down the beach, the little bastard, and takes my expensive mask and snorkel and flippers and leaves them down at the beach, where people thieved rampantly all the time. But for all I know, he probably shoved them in the back of their car and stole them for all I know. I never know what happened to the mask and snorkel and flippers. So I said to little Harrison, here he comes now, I said, you know what, I said, I'm livid to this day. I said, I'm 55 years old and I'm still angry about it. I am still angry that that little boy took my brand new things, went down to the beach and just left them to go missing or be stolen. I said, had no remorse, no care, no respect. And so my mother immediately screams at me and said, oh, there you go, you're so slack with your things, blah, blah, blah. I said, no, you told me to let him play with it. So I go running down the beach to look for them, and of course they're long gone in the space of what, half an hour, 10 minutes, however long it took them to come back from the beach. So I was seething with rage. So I said to young Harrison, I said, tell your dad, I said, that sometimes other children do mean things, like maybe by accident and in Kurt's place on purpose. And I said, and they take your things and they lose them, or they arrange for them to be stolen, or they steal them. I said, and that's not actually your fault. I said, just like it wasn't my fault that my brand new beautiful things were just handed away by my mother, and then I was made to feel like some kind of schmuck because the little boy chose to disappear with them. I said, no. I said, here I am, 55. I said, that happened when I was 14 and I'm still seething with rage. I said, you don't want to be that person, still angry about something that happened 40 odd years ago. He goes, that's a long time to be angry, Tanya. And I said, yes, I know. But I said, it wasn't nice. And also, it wasn't the only thing that they did to me. Like, they did that often. That was just one of the things that was kind of the straw that broke the camel's back as a teenager. So, I mean, I'd already had my CD stolen back off me. So, what, you know, go figure. That was the year before. So anyway, all these life lessons I was taught as a child, it was like, you're not worth anything, you're not deserving of anything, what we give to you will take away, and, you know, I mean, it just was a theme. I mean, look at the Water Spirit, 2.5 years of suffering to fight for the barest minimum just so I could get my teeth fixed and get a car. I mean, vileness beyond belief. So anyway, I digress. So I said to this little boy, I said, you tell Dad my story about after 55 years, the lady down the road is still mad about what happened with her mask and snorkel, and you don't want to end up like her. And I made a little joke of it. So anyway, he comes up with his ball yesterday, and funnily enough, Margot said to him, heard me say to him, oh, did you get your ball back? And he said, no, this is another ball. My ball's still up the roof and the groundsman still hasn't got it. He goes, but it's okay now, Tanya. I said, why? He goes, my dad's going to buy me another ball. They're really expensive, but he's going to buy me another ball. And I'm thinking, oh, what a lovely father. So I smiled at him and I said, did you tell Dad the story about my mask and snorkel? He said, yes, I did. And Dad decided to buy me another ball. And so I looked at him and I said, now you see, my stories are a bit weird and they're a bit mad. I said, but there's a method in my madness. He said, why? I said, I knew he'd buy you another ball. I said, because you're a good kid and you deserve it. He just looked at me like this. I've got to go and do my homework now. I went, okay. So anyway, I had to laugh because that's where my little witchy ways come out, when I just drop little hints to people that let's not damage our children for the next 50 years. Let's just be nice, you know, like. But I've got kind of a vendetta against that man from the groundskeeper at the school. I feel like writing a note to the school. It has come to my attention that you're petty-minded and refuse to return the balls to the children that end up on the roof. It's like, number one, think of the environment. Number two, think of like the financial loss to children and families who've invested in these damn balls. And number three, think about not being petty and punishing them for stupid things like losing your ball on a roof, when there was much more infinitely important things to be punished for, like actual crime or, I don't know, other aberrant behaviours. So that's my story. I just thought we'd all give you a little bit of a chuckle because I'm very amused by it all. How I go into this like warrior goddess, witchy, old lady storytelling ways and see the flowering and the results. So you have to laugh. Anyway, on that note, I'm going to carry on with this table, which is, well, you see, the universe really is a beautiful thing. It brings everything into perfect harmony in a weird way. Everything that was stripped of me was brought back to me, my mother's possessions, by virtue of the public trustee who could see the injustice underlying it all, how they were robbing me of houses and driving me out of home after home after home with their abuse. So now I have her chattels, but they're old and fusty and need renovating. A bit like me, a bit old and fusty and need renovating. But anyway, I looked fabulous yesterday, people. I had full makeup on. My hair was, you know, freshly washed. It's looking a bit flat today, but going to the hairdresser next week, so that'll be nice. And I had the same clothes I had on today, but I had all my jewellery and I had my boots. I had nice tights on, full make. I was in my full Latanya regalia, and I was feeling very good about myself. So today I'm feeling also a bit good about myself, but a bit more tired, and I thought I'm not going to bother with makeup today because I'm just staying home and sanding. But anyway, I've had a good week all in all, including, you know, apart from the health issues. So, and people are really lovely and responding to me beautifully, and so I'm really happy about that. I mean, it's just sweet, you know. It's sweet when the children come up, say hello, and, you know, share their concerns with me, and I find little solutions for them, even if it's like only a little bit of a hint here and there. And life is good. Catch you later. Bye.